5:30, call this meeting to order. Start with attendance. I do have a quorum. Let's see, Dusty,
Yeah.
Dawn, myself. Have we heard from Barbara?
She was not sure if she was gonna make it. She wasn't feeling well today.
Yeah, I got that, so she didn't show
She's not
up.
on right now, no.
Okay, and what about Bobby? We heard from him?
I have not heard from Bob, no.
Okay, well, we do have a quorum, so we'll go ahead with our business. The Zoom will not be monitored. Participants who wish to speak must raise their hand icon until the chair asks them to unmute. Note, this meeting is being televised and recorded by Bourne Community TV for replay. If anyone in the audience is also recording or videotaping, which they may do, they need to acknowledge such at this time. Is there anybody with the, it's a fairly big crowd, but, so I'll try to look between the chairs to see who was, so nobody is recording. Okay, all right.
Recording in progress.
Just me.
Oh, that's us. Okay, all items within the meeting agenda are subject to deliberation and votes by the Board of Health. Okay, there's information online on how to access it by Zoom. Is there anybody on the Zoom? Oh, there's Bobby now. Okay. You missed the part where we said we're not recording. That wouldn't be you either, right? Okay.
I heard my burst of laughter.
All right, so we still have a quorum. I'm surprised you're able to get through the crowd at the door there, standing room. Okay, all right, the first one we have is 19 Spindrift Lane,
18 Spindrift.
Zachary Bazinski, PECFM. Yeah, that always stood for, was it, so many cubic feet per minute. Is that what that means?
No, certified flood zone manager.
Okay, I remember that used to be a big thing when we were looking at, when I was working for the utility company, we were going to public schools, that they had to have so many cubic feet per minute, coming in. You know about that stuff, right? Okay, on behalf of owner applicant Vincent, let's see, McKenzie?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie? That's Mackenzie?
That's an
That's
Italian
pretty-
name.
That's not, that looks more like an Italian version of Mackenzie, but what do I know? Okay, requesting variance from 310 CMR 15.405 and Board of Health 150 setback regulations for the installation of an innovative alternative septic system upgrade. Are you ready?
For the record, Zach Basinski, professional engineer, Bracken Engineering. As mentioned here on behalf of Noreen and Vinnie McKenzie, 18 Spindrift Lane. This is an existing developed 4-bedroom, single-family house over in Gray Gables. Project was actually in front of the board back in 2021 and was granted approval. The permit had just lapsed, so we're back to reinstate it. So as previously approved, current property is serviced by a cesspool up in the back of the house. We are putting in a new IA septic system, which will reduce the on-site nitrogen loading from 13 parts per million down to 7.6. So vast improvements for the area. And then a new Title V leaching system out in the front of the property. Our project was reviewed by Conservation and approved. That permit is still active. So as read in the letters, we're looking for a 150-foot local variance to actually install this in the front yard. It's just a coastal bank because of the slope. If you were to see the pictures and everything, it looks like a grass lawn. So that's 150 foot for that, a 23-foot setback to a second coastal bank on the property. Then under Title V, we're looking for a 12-foot setback to the foundation, where rubber liner would be installed just outside of the system. And then under Title V, some local upgrade approval requests for 23 feet to the coastal banks and another 23 feet to the other coastal banks from the septic tanks. And with that, we will turn it back over.
Okay, does the health agent have any opinion?
Nope, just the same that Zach had said. It's gonna provide a substantial degree of environmental protection, replacing the cesspool, pretty close to a coastal bank with an IA technology. And I mean, for this lot, this is pretty much the best we can do from our resource areas. So great improvement.
Okay, thank you. Board?
Just one question, Zach.
Yes.
Over here, you have the FAST unit there, height to be modified by Microfast, which is the manufacturer. To what extent are you talking about, modifying, dropping?
Yeah, just the inverts and the cover over it, so it can be an H20 system. So
Okay. They're
coordinate
having
that
a
with
trouble
tanks.
getting their elevations
Yeah, they
without.
coordinate that with the tanks when they come in.
All right.
Don?
Oh, set.
Bobby?
No.
And I don't have any, so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move
Disapprove?
that we approve the proposed septic upgrade at 18 Spindrift Lane as proposed in the documents that we have before us.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Whole?
Individual, please.
That's good.
Yeah.
Individual.
Yeah.
Dusty? Yes. Yes.
Oh, Dusty, yes. Don?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Okay,
Thank you very much.
and that take care of that. Next, go ahead.
All right, next project up, again, for the record, Zach Basinski, professional engineer, Bracken Engineering. This is 78 Sagamore Road, again, an existing three-bedroom, single-family house located right on Sagamore Beach. This was a project that was in front of the commission, in front of the board back in 2008 as a tear-down rebuild. Project was approved at that time with a 1,500-gallon microfast system and then a conventional leach field at the time. So, in a pump chamber, situated out in the front part of the lot. So the applicants are looking at doing a lateral addition onto the house, keeping it 3 bedrooms. It's 3 bedrooms today, 3 bedrooms under proposed conditions. Floor plans were submitted. And what we're looking to do now is modify the septic system to accommodate the addition and also to enhance the environmental protection. So with the new redesign, we're able to upgrade the leaching field to pressure distribution. So this system would still be an IA microfast system, would still have the pump chamber, but we're going away from a conventional leaching field to a new drip irrigation system. So this is a system faced with irrigation tubing. This is a system we did in Plymouth not too long ago. So it actually will increase the groundwater separation on it, and it will also provide pressure distribution, which will give us enhanced protection for the area. Again, resource areas on this are a wooded coastal bank associated with the beach. Mean high water is well over 150 feet away from the property on this. Septic system does get closer to the bank with the proposed addition. But with the environmental enhancements, we do believe that this is a vast improvement for the area, a vast improvement for the resource areas out here. So again, the waiver requests on this are an extra half-a-foot cover over the septic tank, an extra 1.4 feet over the pump chamber. These are local upgrade approvals under Title V. And then a 36-foot waiver under Title V for a 14-foot setback to the top of the coastal bank. And then a local variance of 136 feet from the system to the top of the coastal bank. And again, this type of system is time-dosed, and it actually drips out of the irrigation field. So, and most of the nitrogen loading that comes out of this system doesn't go down. It actually, because it's close to the surface, goes up and gets taken up through the uptake of the grass in the roots. So it's been testing very well down at the test facility with George Hoyfelder. And this is probably a system you're going to see a lot more around here and in the area.
Is George still working there?
George is stepped back, but George is also, Brian Baumgartner's down there, but George had been studying a lot of this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, okay.
That was way back, I'd say 10 years
Oh,
ago.
at least, yeah.
No, the drip system was put in, the initial put in.
Mhm.
The only thing George says, I hate it. I said, why? He said, Gonna mow the lawn 3 times a week now.
So this is new technology then?
Yeah, new technology, but it's got general use approval, so it's approved through the state. It's actually reduced setbacks to foundations, everything, so we see this, and again, it gives us pressure distribution, increased groundwater separation. We think it's a great thing for the area.
And George had run this through the county?
Oh, yeah, it's run through the county, it's got its
Okay.
state approvals through DEP, so.
Does the health agent have any opinion?
Just that it is a vast improvement, with this new technology for the soil absorption system. And, you know, continuing on with a microfast system, we're gonna continue to reduce the nitrogen loading anyway, so. yeah.
The board?
I just wondered, see the coastal bank here, is it actually up by one of the cliffs there?
Yeah, it's on the edge, it's a
It's got
vegetated cliff.
So you're talking to 14 feet, Zach, from from where
Yep.
the tank is to, is there, has
the
there been?
the leach field,
From
not the
Oh,
tanks.
the leach field, okay. And there hasn't been significant erosion moving the?
No, and we've actually been fortunate because this area was surveyed back in 2008, so we've actually got good details and data for it, so that's why we felt comfortable coming in with this proposal.
Okay.
There's no, there's no power to a pump in this thing, right?
Oh, there's a power to the pump, yep.
Okay. And one of the, I was responsible for a building once that had a pump system in order to bring the effluent up and then into the chamber.
Yeah.
And somebody threw a rag into the toilet. Okay. This is also vulnerable to that, right?
A little bit different, so that was inside the building, so this is all the tanks out here, everything flows gravity through the microfast into the pump chamber, and the pump chamber has extra storage capacity, so if the pumps go down, it's not gonna back up into the house.
Okay, thank you. All right.
One other
ahead.
thing there, I see you have a good set of plantings around it to eat up the nitrogen and all that. Yeah, I like that. Want me to make,
Okay, do you have anything else? I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for 78 Sagamore Road, Zachary Pazinski, PECFM of Bracken Engineering Incorporated, on behalf of owner Sarah Garrity, requesting variance from 310 CMR 15.405 and the Bourne Board of Health 150-foot setback regulation for the installation of an IA system upgrade.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
I hear a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Dusty?
Aye.
Wabi?
Aye.
Myself? Aye. Okay,
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Zach.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the public beach variance extension for discussion and possible vote to extend the existing monthly sampling variances at Town of Bourne Marine Beaches pursuant to 105 CMR 445.000, and it's indicated Monument Beach. In my understanding, this is a request that comes up on a periodic basis every 4 years, and it's a standard, let's say, sort of a recurring standard, standard device. I don't believe that that there's anything in this that we should be concerned about.
Nope, so, beaches that are, eligible for this type of variance are ones that have not exceeded, their limits of bacterial, testing levels in the past. And so previously, we used to have 3 or 4 beaches. Monument Beach is the only one that hasn't exceeded those limits in the past decade or so to maintain this variance. It does expire every 4 years, requiring the Board of Health to re-vote to approve that. The vote would include testing frequency, which in the past we have it done every 30 days.
Okay, is there any anticipation that, that they would grow out of this at some point?
Like the state rules or just this beach in particular?
Just, if the other ones it got to a point where they were finally excused from participation, are those things anticipated that the folks that are involved in Monument Beach would that also something that they could move towards?
So, yes, so if we had, development happening out there, a lot of development, maybe we added more gas pumps, maybe we had failing septic systems right on the beach, that type of thing. If we are anticipating those things, we would consider that before we extended a variance. But since we don't have any great changes happening over there right now, there doesn't seem to be a concern. If we did come across a testing sample this season that did exceed it, we would automatically start doing the regular sampling as we do with every other beach.
Okay. All right, is there any questions from the board?
No, I think it's a super idea because it's an early warning device to see if you have a problem in the water. If you have a marina or also like Monument Beach over here, and that if, boaters can pump off their boats and things of that nature, or we have super hot weather and everything, I totally agree. It should be a standardized always.
Okay. Any other questions?
I agree.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion, public bathing beach variance extensions, is discussion and possible vote to extend existing monthly sampling variances at Town of Bourne Marine beaches pursuant to 105 CMR 44.5.00. I don't know why the Monument Beaches should be all of them, right? If you find a problem at one, you always go to the rest, right?
Yes, if there is yes. And we do multiple testing after that, that one exceedance as well.
Okay.
Make a
I
second.
hear a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Dusty?
Yes.
John? Bobby?
Yes.
Myself, yes, okay. All right, well, that takes care of that. Now, we had, the next item on the agenda is the draft continuance procedure, which I'd like you to approve. There has been some, you've had this for, for some time. There has been some question as to what the actual procedure is. My main concern has been that somebody that is looking for a continuance should actually come in here and explain why they want the continuance and give their reasons to the whole board. I know that I have the ability as the chair to reschedule, but in the interest of transparency, I think that that's something that the whole board should participate in. So that's the reason for, for drafting this regulation. It also covers instances where when a continuance is granted, it means that the clock doesn't stop. So, I mean, if a continuance is granted, it doesn't mean that it's refused. It just means that the clock continues until the item is heard. So we don't get into a situation where, we would be facing some nuance of the Commonwealth legislation that would essentially not allow us to make a final judgment on the worthiness of the project to be approved. So I would ask your indulgence to endorse this. I think you've all had a chance to take a look at it, and I think it basically is something that would be very useful and would protect our interest as a Board of Health and protecting the interest of the community going forward.
We used to have them come before us, state their reasonings, but we also put a time limit on how long we'd give them an extension.
And this regulation does have that time limit
Does
in
it?
there.
Okay,
Yeah, you could provide a date certain
Yeah,
for it to be continued to.
right.
okay. So you understand, the reason why I'd asked Caitlin to be kind enough to put this together. I think this does cover the things that would protect our interest and protect the interest of the community in making sure that we saw in detail everything that, had to be looked at. So I will ask for a motion to endorse.
Make a motion to approve. I'll put glasses on. Review of the draft continuance procedures. I make a motion, how about a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Yes.
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 And yes.
And Bill, based off of that as well, to continue with the idea that, you know, you have been concerned that as a chair, that you're not taking away anything from the board as a whole. So you wanted the board members to have a chance to hear these continuance requests and possibly vote on granting those. I was wondering if you wanted to do any other future procedures that the board wants to have written down in relation to that, to kind of,
In terms of administrative process, are the ones that you're concerned with that we need to look at?
so I guess, like you said, is you have things that you like to talk about and you've wanted to bring up on a board meeting. And I was wondering if we wanted to extend that courtesy to members of the board, that if one or more, say 2 or more of the board members wanted to hear something on the agenda, that they could have that added to the agenda?
Well, I thought that when we added the, let's say, comments from the board in regard to future agenda items,
Exactly, and that's a great chance to start it off, but say someone isn't at that board meeting, or if they thought about it, they came across, they were at a meeting. They were at a coalition or a committee meeting where they heard something, and
how
then they
would
wanted
we
to hear.
phrase that?
Something along the lines of,
Because I think it's a good idea.
that's what I was thinking, and then, I mean, obviously the chair then has the ability to say, maybe we want to hold this off for a different meeting, but when they're reviewing the agenda, but letting the board members reach out to the office and say, could we maybe put this on something? I think
I
it's
think that,
pertinent.
do you understand what she's offering, which is if you have something that, you know, burning interest, and you want to see it, you know, see it as an agenda item, I would give that courtesy to each and every one of you. Because I think that in order for a board to function in what I would call a truly democratic, you know, attitude or procedures, we all should participate in what's going on. So it shouldn't be just one person, but all of us would have the opportunity. And I think using the vehicle of putting it into the office, you know, we escaped the part where there was a discussion, you know, back in the closet about what we were
Yeah.
doing.
Try and keep to the open meeting law concepts and everything. And I can draft something and we can decide if that's the wording we want to use as well.
Yeah, well, well, obviously, we should have something in front of us.
Yeah, mhm.
But I think that's it would have been a great idea if I thought of it, but it's a terrific idea.
Sounds good. I will
Okay.
work on that for an upcoming meeting for you guys.
Yeah, we could put that on the, let's see, the
Next
next
one?
meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I don't seem to be able to raise the minutes on my iPad, but I do have them here. Let's see, is there, let's see, we now have an opportunity for public comment on non-agenda items. Is there anyone of the people that are here want to come forward? I didn't see anybody sign up.
Don't
Okay,
have
well,
anyone on Zoom requesting either. So.
I love the fact that they're so patient to wait till we get to the whole meeting, so that's wonderful.
Very
Yeah.
nice of them, yes.
Okay. Let's see, this is the time for the board to speak in regard to future agenda items.
I don't have any, I don't have anything on mine
I
right now.
think we have quite a few we have to catch up on.
We sure do,
You know,
yeah.
Caitlin was kind enough to put together the priority of effort.
Yes,
And
but-
they're being scheduled, so let's see, when did we finalize the well?
The well regulations, I could probably have by the end of next month, or
Okay.
middle of next month, so maybe the second meeting of May.
The
Yeah.
thing I like that you do is you make up I wouldn't call it a cheat sheet, but a sheet like we did today. I keep them in a binder
Yeah,
and different items, so I can refer back to them, you know, on different cases. And that's what I like.
good, glad.
Well, we all have our systems of,
Right.
keeping up with stuff. And since you're doing it, we can all rely upon you, checking with you as far as what was
My
going on.
wife thought she could too.
Yeah, those of us who have been in long-term relationship
Well-
marriages know better than to open our mouth at home, but that's
51
another story.
years.
Okay, on the minutes, have all of you got a copy of the minutes? I think if we take a minute now to take a look at what we have here. Let's see, add minutes of January 10th.
28th of February.
In January, we had watershed permitting. see,
13.
private drinking water wells, that's where we introduced it. We had the workshop. And then we had a health agent report. And let's see, at the time, the health agent spoke about respiratory illnesses in Barnstable County. Does anybody have any opinion about the minutes of January 10th?
Can we do them as a group?
Well, I'm asking if anybody has an opinion about them, to change them.
None of them.
Okay. No, I'd like to do them one by one.
Oh, that was my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Okay, so are we ready for a motion to approve the minutes of January 10th?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of January 10th, 2024.
Okay, is there a second? Is there any-
Don?
Okay, Don, second. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, the next one is meeting minutes for February 28th. Give me a moment. Oh, yeah, the financial management parcel. I truly wonder if we'll ever see that budget before it goes forward. Well, okay, I have to say that the whole idea of seeing a budget before it gets submitted for approval gives us more of a sense of what the town is investing in this particular operation because of the separation between the administrative part and our part as far as, as far as approving different regulations. But that's just a quirk of mine. And I think I've expressed it offline about, they didn't listen to me when I put it in before the Charter Review Committee that we should have some budget authority, but that's the way it goes.
Can't win them all, Bill.
Yeah. This is the no shit show. Okay. Okay, does anybody have anything to add to the minutes of February 28th?
No, not me.
Okay, is there, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion for February 28th, 2024.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah, we didn't have the March ones yet.
Okay. And we have nothing else on the agenda?
Nothing right now.
Gee,
That was record time.
don't you love it when a plan comes together? I'm waiting for a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're done.